I'm in the DC area. I'm meeting up with one of my really high-end clients. I'm gonna go to Mount Vernon, home of George Washington. And I'm thinking that we're about to be seriously wowed.
Well, here we are, Rick. I brought you here to see something very, very exciting for my collection. It's one of the most amazing things I could ever imagine owning. This is George Washington's silver lionhead Kato.
It's a Kato, a hunting sword.
A hunting sword, correct.
That's cool.
It is just amazing that this exists.
This particular sword was one of only two that George Washington used during the Revolutionary War.
He didn't want a sword imported from England. He wanted to make sure it was American-made.
To carry a sword that was made in the colonies was a real statement of being independent.
So, Rick, would you like to hold it?
Yeah? A little nervous. That's pretty cool.
It just sends shivers through your body when you hold it.
Yeah, there we go. That's so cool. I mean, I own a few cool things, but I don't own nothing nearly that cool. I'm guessing that this is never going to leave your collection.
No, not at all. I'm sorry. But there is something else I have that, if the price was right, maybe I would sell it.
All right, lead the way.
Let's go.
I just held George Washington's sword, which was like a serious bucket list thing just now. So the next item is supposed to be pretty amazing too. And this time it's actually for sale. So I'm pretty excited to see what it is, and hopefully it's something I can afford to buy. Okay, so we have the Headless Horseman.
No. Drum roll.
Whoa. So is this George Washington's too?
It is. It's a three-piece suit that he acquired sometime in the mid-18th century. It's amazing that it held up so well.
He's a pretty fit guy.
No, he was 6'2". He was a tall man, but he wasn't a really large man.
So our mannequin's a little short.
I purchased this George Washington suit over 21 years ago, and it was one of my first major purchases for my collection of Americana. It's a major highlight of my collection. But if Rick really wants me to put a price on it, I'm gonna put a price on it for him today.
I'm just like in awe.
It is amazing.
If I could go back and have a cup of coffee with just about anybody in history, it'd probably be this guy. He couldn't have been elected president until the day he died, but he stepped down after 2 terms, and he set the standard for presidents to come. To me, he's one of the most amazing men in history. He really is.
Oh, yeah.
So where'd you get it?
It was passed down from family member to family member, and it ended up in an auction in New York City. I was able to purchase it there. A highlight of my collection until I purchased the Washington sword. So it dropped down to number 2.
Do we know the date on this thing?
I think it's from the 1750s or 60s.
Okay.
Back then, it was pink, and you could still see some of the pink in this area.
You know, Washington was always very aware of how he presented himself. Pink would have been a bright color and one that really would have set you off as, you know, fashion-conscious individual.
And it's all silk?
Or silk.
I'm impressed. So you think this is all legit and everything, right?
Yes, I think it is. On a piece like this, what it's dependent on is provenance. There are missing pieces, that sort of thing. But that's minimal.
For being over 200 years old.
Exactly. You just don't see a piece of Americana like this very often. This is just amazing.
Absolutely.
So you enticed me with a sword that's not for sale, and this thing right here, does it have a price on it?
Well, it's one of my highlights of my collection. But everything has a price.
Well, I'll let you guys work that out. Very good to see you, Rick. Good to see you. We'll see you back in Vegas.
Take care.
So how much?
I wouldn't sell for less than $3 million.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of suit.
I don't think I'd ever say this, but I'm actually considering this. I mean, it's George Washington's suit. I mean, it never occurred to me that one would be available. I'm gonna go think and contemplate about this for a little bit. Can we meet up later?
Absolutely.
All right, I'm intrigued. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks, Rick.
That's cool. So I'm back at the hotel. I'm seeing Brian. I'm ready to sit down and have a serious conversation with him. I'm back.
You're back. Good to see you.
He wants $3 million for George Washington's suit. I've been offered items in the millions of dollars before, but I've never really considered them until now. The suit.
Okay.
You asked for $3 million,
Right.
but what's the best you can do? 1.5?
No, I appreciate your offer, but it's really a major part of my collection.
How about $2 million?
Since we're friends, the best price, absolute best price would be $2.5 million.
Okay, and you're firm at that?
Absolutely firm with that.
I mean, okay, well, I guess the suit's out then. This has been an amazing day. I got to hold George Washington's sword today, so.
Not too many people can say that.
I'll talk to you soon, man. This has been one of the greatest trips I've ever had. I got to nerd out in DC. I didn't get the suit, but you know what? It didn't fit me anyway. What do we have here?
I actually got one of the most important documents in rock and roll history. The contract between Brian Epstein, who was the manager, and the Beatles, creating the partnership between the two of them.
You have the original Beatles contract.
Yep.
That's a big wow factor right there.
What's really unique, it had to be signed by two of the parents, James McCartney and Harold Harrison, because at the time, both of them were under 21.
All right, what you have here is pretty, I mean, it's pretty incredible. Obviously, you want a lot of money for.
Yes. This is the holy grail of rock and roll. It's an agreement between Brian and the Beatles, basically giving him 25% of all royalties. I came back because the last time I sold Sgt. Pepper, and I got a good deal, and hopefully I can get another good deal this time.
The articles hereby appoint the manager to act as their manager throughout the world for a period of 5 years from the first day of October 1962.
And the agreement basically states what Brian Epstein's cut would be, including vaudeville, concerts, movies, merchandise. The Beatles actually got paid a lot less than he did.
He got a ridiculous management amount. He got 25%.
Exactly, that's what this says.
But the entire contract wasn't going to be valid until Brian Epstein actually got them a record deal.
That is correct.
Brian Epstein was a genius. He basically transformed the Beatles from an unknown band playing small clubs into the biggest rock band ever. When he died, he couldn't be replaced, and it played a large role in the Beatles breaking up. To actually have his original contract in front of me is surreal. Where'd you get it?
I got it from the person who actually bought it in Christie's in 2004. Basically, I have the original receipt from Christie's, and I also have who's verified this particular document.
Okay.
It's got all the official seals. It's embossed, and it's in the original folder. It's never been altered.
Okay, how much do you want for it?
$1 million.
That's a lot of money. I'm gonna call my guy. I just want to make sure everything is 100% cool before we start talking price. You know, I can imagine someone spending a ridiculous amount of money to make a brand new one of these.
I totally understand.
All right, hang out. I'm gonna get him down here momentarily.
Thanks.
This contract is legendary. Some people consider it the most important document in the history of rock music. If this thing checks out, I will do what I have to do to get it.
Now that's cool. I've heard about this piece before. It's been well documented. People want Beatles stuff. Autographs, stuff, lyrics, you name it. You know, the stuff they wore on stage. The Beatles are always #1. In terms of their signatures, I mean, they're still the most sought after. It's not uncommon to have them together, but on a contract, that's a pretty rare piece in itself. The contract is well known throughout the Beatles collectible world. It was one of the most significant contracts in the history of rock and roll. It's a thing of legend. I can't wait to get my hands on it and really take a look at it in person. I'm gonna start off at the top with John Lennon. I'm just looking for live ink. I'm looking for overlapping.
And the overlapping is where it gets darker.
Yeah, it starts to get darker. You could see one pen stroke go over the other. I see no reason to believe at all that this is printed, it's not a stamp, it's not a copy or anything. These are definitely live signatures on here, so that's a good thing.
Okay.
That's a very good thing.
Absolutely. You have some really early signatures of the Beatles. So what I've done here is I've tried to pull out some super early stuff that I have on file. What I'm starting to look at here, letter formations and overlapping. The Harrison signature is just, you know, very early signature for him. John Lennon wouldn't sign John W. Lennon as a signature. He'd never do it for someone in person, but this is a pretty unique situation. But I'm still seeing a lot of the same similarities here, especially in the double ends here. So these are all very good signs.
All right. So is it real?
I mean, based on everything I've seen here, there's no question that this is genuine.
That's awesome for me.
Yeah, it's all cool. I mean, what's it worth?
I'd put the value of this piece right at around $500,000.
Okay, he's asking $1 million.
Well, I mean, a record just sold a month ago for $300,000. You're talking about a record.
Right. The one thing you have to be cautious of is when you look into the history of the piece. In 2008, I saw another sale of this piece. And that's kind of where I'm not sure. And then 2009, it was supposed to be offered through a raffle.
What happened was the gentleman who did own this basically made a deal to raffle it off if it raised enough money, and it didn't raise enough money, so that never happened.
What about the 2008 auction?
It didn't sell. When that price came down, it wasn't high enough for the seller. That's what happened.
Okay, so it didn't meet reserve.
Exactly.
Okay, I think I got enough.
Okay, well, good luck on that.
Thanks, man.
It was awesome to see the piece in person. I mean, it's a great piece of rock and roll history. It's probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I think I gave a pretty good estimate of where that piece is priced at, but the seller is entitled to put whatever value he wants on it.
All right, so you're still stuck at $1 million?
I really got to get $1 million.
I don't see
We're talking
it.
about history here.
You know, and when you start talking that money, there's very few people in the world that have that much money.
I totally agree.
Okay? If I bought it from you, I have to put it in auction. So they charge me 14, 15%. I mean, you're not gonna like my price. I mean, I pay you like $350 for it. You know, I have to look at it. I think I can probably get $500,000 for it.
You know what? That's an incredible offer, but I'm really gonna have to stick to $1 million. I could probably take it to one of the major auction houses tomorrow, and I really believe that I could probably get $1 million reserve on this.
Okay, you take the risk. I would go $350. That's cash right now. If you don't take that, I would wait for another auction.
I'm gonna have to decline on the $350.
Good luck with it.
I appreciate it. Thanks very much. I'm disappointed I couldn't make a deal. I really wanted to sell it today, but I really had to find the right buyer. Today just wasn't it.
Chum is dragging me out to see something that he says we absolutely have to have for the shop. And I don't know what it is exactly, but I've never seen him this excited. What the hell is this thing?
This is Robosaurus. It's our 31-ton, 45-foot, basically a transformer that eats cars, eats airplanes. We could actually lift your bikes up if you'd like.
You touch my bike, I'll kill you.
Okay, well, we'll leave the bike alone. I've got the guys from the pawn shop coming down to look at my one and only Robosaurus. I bought Robosaurus at an auction. I made a business out of it, but it's time for me to get rid of this and look at raising the venture capital to do something else that I have a great idea for.
So, Chum, you think this is appropriate for my pawn shop?
You'd never have to tow a car again.
In the wrong hands, I bet this thing could cause a lot of damage. I mean, these guys must have one hell of an insurance policy. I don't know what my idiot friend told you, but I just own a pawn shop. I mean, you can't really expect me to buy this thing.
It is a money-making machine. It can be rented out, it can be leased out. We do special events. It can do bar mitzvahs, it can do big giant demolition derbies. 25,000 bucks is a day you can make from this thing when you put it on the road.
This machine can perform a bar mitzvah, huh?
I mean, you might as well just show me more about it. What do we got going here?
We got 24,000 pounds of crushing power in these claws, so we can rip apart a car, we can tear it apart, pull the roof off, whatever you want to do.
Check out this cockpit. You
Take a
look
look.
through this front window, and that's where the pilot sits. You're strapped into a seat. Your feet are on pedals. Your arms lock into devices, so when you move your arms, the robot's arms move. All your fingers are in double-sided switches, so when you squeeze your finger and thumb like this, 24,000 pounds of crushing power.
We shoot air cannons out, we have confetti, we can do fireworks. We actually could launch missiles from this thing.
What power is this thing?
Well, there's a 500 horsepower turbocharged diesel engine, drives 4 hydraulic pumps. Housed right in here are 2 20-gallon propane tanks. That's what gives Robo his fire. And the power is back here.
I can think of a few ways to hurt myself in this thing. My dad and the old man would kill me if I even considered buying this thing, but I mean, they also love to make money. I was completely ready to walk away, but when he said this thing could make 25 grand a day, it got my attention.
This thing generates money.
25,000 a day, huh?
Do the math and you can thank me later.
Well, let's fire this thing up and see what it does, man.
All right, let's go.
All right. Leave it to Chum to show me the biggest, most impractical thing I've ever seen. On the other hand, I mean, it has a lot of value because it's famous. So if it's in good working condition, I'll make an offer.
Takes a second for him to get it going, and after it's going, guys, it'll do all the tricks.
Can it do a backflip or anything?
Well, it can't actually get in the air, but that's a great idea. It is amazing what it can do. It is an engineering marvel.
Are you ready, Big Hoss? This is gonna be crazy.
Let's get the motorcycle, all right?
Is he coming so close to my bike? Whoa,
which
whoa.
one? Which one's yours? This one right here.
If it comes any closer to my bike, you're going in front of it. The Robosaurus might be big and strong, but if it came any closer to my bike, I might have kicked his ass.
All right, what do you say we attack that car? I want to show you the immense power of it.
All right, let's see the car.
Here we go.
Told you, Big Hoss. This thing is badass.
No, he's lifting that up as if it's nothing. It weighs nothing to him. There you go. There goes the rope.
Oh, it's a convertible now. Is he ripping that car in half?
That's crazy.
Are you impressed?
Oh, I'm impressed.
I'm not cleaning it up.
There you go.
I gotta admit, I didn't expect it to do all that.
We're ready to make a deal.
Honestly, man, how much are you asking for this thing?
Well, you know, we could do a bargain today for about $1 million.
Holy did he just use the M word as in 6 zeros?
And by the way, if you do it now, I'll throw in the tractor trailer.
Hey, he told us he was a transformer that turns into a tractor trailer.
So we'll throw that
He
in.
lied. He doesn't turn into a tractor trailer.
Well, he needs to be towed.
He's not a transformer, man, without that piece.
I mean, the Robosaurus is awesome, and I'm sure there's somebody out there that would love to buy it. It's just way too much money to risk. I mean, it could easily end up bankrupting the shop. It was very cool, guys, but I have to admit, $1 million is a little out of my budget.
Well, I guess we gave it a shot, and I really appreciate your time. It was very, very nice meeting you.
Appreciate it.
You know, I thought they were really interested when they came out. I know the $1 million is high, but I did expect them to counteroffer. I thought these guys liked one-of-a-kind items, and this is one-of-a-kind.
$1 million is so far out of the question. I mean, we're not even on the same planet. Hell, we're not even in the same galaxy. What do you think? Do you think I'm really gonna buy this thing for $1 million?
So what do we got here?
I think there's something in here you're really gonna like to see.
Okay.
1963, American-made Fender Stratocaster.
Oh, to me, this is the guitar.
But there's something very, very special about this specific guitar.
All right.
This guitar was actually played by Jimi Hendrix.
That's a big wow factor right there.
Jimi Hendrix, man, he's one of the greatest rock and roll legends of all time. But what I'm bringing to the table today is not only a piece of rock and roll history, but it's very well preserved.
Jimi Hendrix, he was an icon. This guy did things with the guitar that no one did before. He played a Strat.
Yeah.
Left-hand guitars are far and few between.
Right,
His first guitars were used. He couldn't find a left one.
Right.
So he started playing with a right-handed guitar with the strings upside down. even when he had money, he continued playing guitars that were right-hand guitars strung upside down. Do you mind if I pick it up?
No, absolutely, by all means.
All right. This is the Holy Grail.
He actually held this guitar that you now have in your hands and made wonderful music with it.
Is there any pictures of him playing it on stage or anything? Or?
No, because it was exclusively played in the studio. This was his really favorite sort of recording acts.
I'm gonna set this down. And where did you get this?
It was actually owned by a guy named Skip Jarrett. There's a studio called Juggy Sound Studio that Jimmy loved to cut in up in New York. Skip was the chief engineer at Juggy Sound Studio. And after they wrapped up all the production on Band of Gypsys and all that, they gave this guitar to Skip. When he passed away, one of my business associates and I acquired the guitar.
Okay. This guitar was on Band of Gypsys?
Yeah, he played this guitar on several records. He actually played it on Nervous Breakdown as well.
Okay.
Here's just something that came out this year in this magazine about this specific guitar. The guy that wrote this article, you know, did a lot of extreme diligence. Plus I have, you know, letters signed by Jimmy's brother.
I have seen items where people had letters from the family.
Right, okay.
And it turned out not to be what they said it was.
Right.
Okay, that's the one big thing that scares me. How much do you want for the guitar?
I think this guitar, you know, from everyone I've talked to, I'd be willing to take, say, $750,000 for it.
I have a friend who, if this thing is real, he will know. And if not, he'll call bull.
Bring it, you know what I'm saying?
All right, I'll be right back. Give me a few minutes.
Okay, thanks, man. I have nothing to hide. Let's turn the lights on real bright. This is an authentic Jimi Hendrix guitar. I'm happy to challenge anybody that he wants to bring to the table to look at it, because he'll authenticate the guitar.
This is stupid cool. I mean, one of Jimmy's guitars. Hendrix turned the guitar into an extension of his body. Every way he moved was altering the sound of the guitar. When you see him dip down real low, he's bending physically bending the guitar.
Right.
There's very few guys that can make their own statement with the guitar anymore. But guys come along like Jimi Hendrix and just take it to a completely new place.
I want to make sure this is 100% before we start talking a lot of money.
Yeah, you mind if I take a look at it?
No, man, by all means, that's why you're
here. There's a couple of things you'd want to look at. The tremolo bar. These are usually bent and angled up. He played the guitar upside down. He flattened a lot of these out, made them straight. So they probably weren't ramming into his arm and stuff like that. Another thing is what they call ring wear. If you're playing the guitar like this, my wedding ring hits the guitar, removes a lot of the paint, finish from there. If you look at this guitar, the top side of the neck has a lot of that wear. That's from the guitar being this way. How Jimmy would have played it. Left-handed. The article that you guys have sitting over there, they asked a bunch of vintage dealers to take a look at this guitar with photos and stuff like that. This serial number here, L14985. This guitar has actually been documented. No doubt, this is definitely one of Jimmy's guitars.
That's really, really cool. In my head, I think I know what it's worth, but what do you think?
No guitar is worth anything unless everything's working on it, in my book.
Plug it in, let it rip, just turn it up loud.
Cannot believe this.
How about it? Come on.
That's a good guitar, man.
So what do you think it's worth?
Anywhere from $750 to good auction, $1 million.
All right, thanks, man.
All right, man. Thank you. Thanks again for letting me play.
You're welcome, man.
Thanks a lot. That felt crazy to hold one of Jimi Hendrix's guitars, man. You could see why he liked it, because it was a really good, balanced, nice-feeling guitar.
At a personal level, I absolutely love it, but you have to find the right auction. It has to be advertised in the least amount of time would be a year, most likely.
Right.
Let me give you $450,000.
450? Man.
My thing is, I take all the risk, you walk away with cash.
For a guitar that could fetch maybe $1 million on any day, your own guy just told you that?
Okay, but what
come on, 450 grand? Yeah, I'm thinking 750, man.
a lot of commissions and a lot of people got to get paid to sell this thing. Okay,
Right.
it's just it's the way the world works.
Right. Okay.
I'll give you $500,000.
This guitar's worth more than that. It just is.
If you want the money now, I can go $550.
Knowing that it could potentially fetch $1 million at an auction, I can't leave that much money on the table. $750, really, man. That's a bottom dollar I can take for the guitar.
All right, well, have a nice day. Tell me if it goes to auction. I might bid on it.
Okay. Thanks, man. Well.
$6.
I can't do it, man. But I'll call you if I change my mind.
Call me.
Okay?
All right, man.
He's fired one last bullet across the boat there with the $600,000 offer, you know. Honestly, I was starting to kind of get a little bit more tempted by that. But if you want to come to a fair point in selling something of great value, don't be desperate about it. And that I am not.
Guys, what can you tell me about Tupac?
One of the greatest artists ever to live.
Some guy says he has the car that Tupac was shot in.
This is probably like one of the most iconic cars ever, Rick.
Yeah, I mean, it is a piece of music history, but it's kind of disturbing.
Supposedly, it was registered to some guy named Suge Knight, and...
Suge Knight.
Do you know anything about the car?
Yeah.
It's a 7 Series BMW.
Black on rims.
Okay, all
I
right.
think that's sweet.
I'm just gonna call Warwick.
You can't just take Warwick. I mean, come on. I mean, he knows a lot about rock and roll culture, but we're talking about Tupac. This is my era. It would be a disservice to you and your company if you didn't take me.
Fine, you can come with me, but give Warwick a call. I have an appointment, and if it all works out, we can own this thing by tomorrow night.
All right, I'll give him a call.
So this is supposed to be the most amazing car on the planet.
It's pretty dang close. I mean, Tupac probably wrote some poems in this thing.
I know it's an extremely huge deal, but...
I know what you're thinking. Those rims aren't big, but in 1996, boy, those things were huge.
They look huge to me. There's a car dealership here in Vegas that actually has the car that Tupac was shot in. I'm bringing Warwick with me because he's my music memorabilia guy. It's been 20 years since Tupac passed away. A lot of his personal items have come up for sale, and they're going for a lot of money.
Good to see you.
How you doing?
How's it going?
It looks pretty cool.
You got all the documentation back to this is the car you got shot in?
We do. We have the lease paperwork showing that Death Row Records actually was the leaseor and that Tupac was the one that was writing in it.
All right, we'll take a look at it.
Sounds good. You guys give it a once-over and let me know what you think.
Thanks.
So remind me, what happened here?
It was 1996. It happened here in Las Vegas after a Tyson fight. Tupac ran in with a bunch of, like, LA Bloods, and there was a bunch of LA Crips here at the fight, and they got into an altercation. And then later on that night, when they're leaving the fight, car pulls up side and opens fire on Tupac in the passenger seat and Suge Knight in the driver's seat.
2 of his albums from this period have gone on to the diamond status, which means 10 million plus sold. And he's still selling records to this day.
So is there a market for this?
Well, in the memorabilia market, hip-hop and rap, it's not yet taken off as a collectible. So I'm going to put this in the same range as Tupac's Hummer, which made $200,000.
All right, thanks, man.
You're welcome.
I think you should really think about this.
Okay, well, you call Bill up and maybe get some advice from him?
All right, I'm gonna do that right now.
This is seriously the only time Chum has took me to school.
This is an interesting piece of history. We're talking about it's one car that signifies so much in pop culture that took place.
What happened in this car changed history, right?
To bring it up to your date and age, this is the Jimi Hendrix of hip-hop.
I keep on feeling older and older today, just so you guys know.
This is crazy. Last time I saw this car was back in '96. So I show up at my buddy's house, and lo and behold, across the street, there's the car Tupac got shot in. So
on a tow truck or something?
On a tow truck. So, yeah, these are pictures of the car the weekend after this took place on the tow truck, taking it back to California. So it's been a while. She looks a little different.
Okay, so where would the bullet holes be?
So you got one up here, top of the driver's door, a couple underneath the door handle, and then a couple in the back seat. If you look carefully, there's one that went through the bottom of the windshield right here.
I guess all that's been repaired?
Yeah, it's surprising to me the car's still around. I mean, based on the condition it was in and it being part of a crime, the wheels look similar to the wheels that were on it, which is kind of your first dead giveaway when you look at it. I mean, obviously, she's been polished up a little bit, but man, this is definitely a unique piece.
Okay, so my problem is, it's a little weird. It's not like you had like a great celebrity and this is the car he drove in a movie and he drove it really fast and all that. This was a car a celebrity got shot in and died a few days later.
So in the car world, there's the drivability factor. You can own a piece of history and actually drive it, and it really won't devalue it so much. But this car, because of the connection to a crime and a murder and all that stuff, establishing that value is the tough part. For all intents and purposes, if you're looking at the car, it's a 96 BMW. You know?
What's a 96 BMW worth?
On its best day, if you found the right car lot, $5 grand.
Okay.
But this is on a whole different spectrum. You know, this is clearly a historical value vehicle. Who's your demographic that's gonna buy this car, that's got the discretionary income to buy this car? You're talking big money players. You got a lot of celebrity sports figures, other hip hop artists might buy it. The best on this car is gonna be probably an auction. I mean,
it's put it in an auction and just wish for the best.
Well, I think the right place, the right auction, this car, $500,000 to $1 million.
Okay. Thanks, man.
All right. If Rick can come to a deal and buy this car, this is hands down the coolest thing we've ever purchased. It's definitely the coolest thing we've ever had a chance to purchase.
Well, what do we think?
How much you want for the car?
We're actually asking $1.5 million.
Whoa.
It's a big number.
Yeah.
I've actually already had an offer at $900,000 from a guy overseas.
And you didn't take it?
We did not take it. We turned it down. We think there's money there. What do you think, Chum?
I mean, I don't know. It's a pretty freaking cool car. This is a very iconic car in more ways than one. It's got a lot of cool stuff tied into it.
Well,
you think you can beat 900, Rick?
I mean, the best I can figure is it's going to go between $200,000 and $1 million in an auction, and just sort of depends on the auction. So a lot more than I'm willing to pay for it, but I really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Come on, chum.
Seriously?
What do you mean, seriously?
Oh, I can't believe it. Tupac.
I'm just passing on the car because I'm just not going to risk this kind of money. At least I got a whole education from Chum. And when I learned something from Chum, it's a pretty rare occasion.
So I'm here in New York to take a look at one of the most historical documents on the planet. An original Declaration of Independence broadside. There's probably only 20 left in private hands, and I'm about to take a look at one right now. Jeremy?
Hey, Rick, yep.
I'm here for the broadside.
Come on in. There it is.
Definitely a wow moment.
A wow moment, right. This is an extremely rare July 1776 printing of the Declaration of Independence.
This is absolutely amazing.
I mean, it's probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my career.
I've been in this market for years, and it's a thrill to handle something like this. So the condition of this copy is truly exceptional. This was sourced from a private collection. It has never been sold at public auction, and it's highly sought after.
So, yeah, this is just incredible. This was right after the 4th of July. I think it was John Dunlop was a printer in Philadelphia. He goes out and he basically takes a copy from Congress and writes it all out, then goes back to the print shop, lays out his print, and starts printing these. They think he printed right around 200 of them, okay? And that was the original one. And then when other printers around the country got a hold of them, they also made copies, and this is the New Hampshire one, correct?
Correct.
That's the way the internet works back then. I mean, you know, it was a little bit slower. So, I mean, you know, like 10 days later, people in New Hampshire are finding out about this.
Right.
A week or two later, it's probably in the Carolinas. And eventually, everybody knew about it. I imagine your local tavern, when this was first penned up, there was a lot of people standing around going, damn. This is like putting your thumb to the most powerful country in the world at the time.
Yeah. And you know what's really cool about this one? You can actually see the pinholes here in the corners, which indicates that it was displayed publicly.
It'd probably hang for a week. Everyone would come by and look at it. Oh, you know, after a few weeks, a poster for the new band was going to be there. They were never, ever meant to be saved.
Yeah.
As far as documents go, it's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my career. So how much are you looking for this?
This was displayed at the National Constitution Center in Philadelphia. It's in exceptional condition. It's extremely scarce. $2 million.
Okay. Everything looks right on it, but I just want a document expert to look at it.
Sure.
I have one coming down, best document guy in New York. Once he says everything's the real deal, we'll go from there. Okay?
Fair.
Because a little bit of knowledge can always get you in trouble, and that's what I got.
I believe it's worth $2 million for this, but we'll leave it up to him and see what he thinks. I'll be curious to know where he lands.
So here we go.
Yeah, I am thrilled to see this. I'm Seth Kaller, and I'm a dealer and a museum collection builder and an expert in important historic documents.
Everything looks right to me, but like, I don't want to be 99% sure.
Right. I normally would have to take this out of the frame to authenticate it, but I've actually seen this exact copy before. Some of the things that we looked at when I first authenticated this was to compare this to all of the known copies of the same broadside. And part of what held it up, there are the nail holes from back then, which are not, you know, very consistent round nails like we have today. They're all handmade and different. And you can see on the handmade laid paper even the impression of individual letters. People think of the Declaration of Independence as the signed copy, but that was actually done a month later, really as a souvenir. The word had to get out by these printed documents. So there were a couple hundred printed on the night of July 4th to 5th. They're sent out by John Hancock, and the major cities where they arrive reprint them. And this copy actually was posted on a wall. So you can imagine 1776, somebody walking up to it and reading about this event that changed their lives.
All right, so I mean, it's 100% legit.
Absolutely.
All right. Brass tacks, what is it worth?
This particular one is a really beautiful copy. It's just a wonderful broadside, an important relic of history, and the world changed when the first people looked at this very document. I think this could go for $2 million at auction now.
That's what I want to hear, man. I will let you know what happens, man. I mean, thanks for coming in. Okay, thanks.
Thanks. Good to see you. This is a fantastic, rare, earth-changing document. If Rick can purchase this, I think it would be great for him. I'd be a little jealous.
All right, so he said it was, you know, it could be worth $2 million. You know, whenever you hear on the news something selling at an auction for a lot of money, that's the headline number. There is a ridiculous amount of fees. I would love to give you like $1.4 million.
I mean, it's a fair point you make about the fees. I mean, you know, I know how it works. I would sell it to you for $1.5 million.
Okay. I'll meet you in the middle. 1.45, I think that's fair. I think we can both be happy with that.
You know, I think we got a deal.
Oh my goodness, I own the Declaration of Independence.
Congratulations, congratulations.
I will get the money wired to you. I will pick it up from you tomorrow. I have a friend I want to show it to, so just keep it till tomorrow. And like I said, thanks again, Ben.
Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure. So, you know, $1.45 million, no fees for the auctioneers, get the deal done today. I'm happy. Cue the fireworks.
So I'm here in London to buy some Banksy art. Banksy is the most famous graffiti artist in the world, hands down. And he recently had an original piece go for $12 million. There's a collector here in London. He's got some Banksy art he's looking to sell. I want to buy it. I hope the price is not crazy because I think it's an incredible investment right now. And I did not fly halfway around the world to come home empty-handed.
So here's a piece.
Whoa.
That's an original Banksy.
That's amazing. So it's Monkey Detonator, right?
Yes, made in 2002. It's an original piece made out of a stencil and spray on board.
That's pretty amazing. Is that one his too?
Absolutely. This one is an original screen print. Welcome to Hell.
These are amazing. He looks pissed off.
Yeah. I represent the owner of two Banksy pieces that are for sale, Monkey Detonator and Welcome to Hell. The owner is looking to get $918,000 US for both pieces.
This is incredible. I love Banksy. I mean, he came up with his own particular style. So when you see a Banksy, you say that's Banksy. He has got that crazy mystique about him because no one knows who he or she is. And it's literally the most popular art in the world now. I mean, it is the hottest art. There will be a day when a Banksy breaks the $100 million mark. I truly believe that.
Absolutely.
You know, he did this in 2002, right after the entire economy melted down across the planet, right after 9/11. And I just look at it like any random thing can blow up everything.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you never know who's going to press on the red button nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, it's simple, but it's just quintessential Banksy.
So this one is edition of 175, and it comes with a certificate of authenticity made by the Pest Control.
The Pest Control, that's like his authentication company or something like that?
Yes. It comes with a bill that was cut in half with a number, and Banksy Pest Control will keep the other half to make sure it's original.
So if you go to resell one of these, they will say, yes, this is one of the originals.
Absolutely.
So we have the cert for this, and do you have the cert for this one?
Yes, the owner conserved the original.
How much?
Well, my client wants £750,000.
I don't know the exact exchange rate, but that would be right around $900,000.
More or less.
And the rat?
The owner asked for £15,000.
Right around 18,000 American.
More or less.
More or less. Okay. So I knew he was coming here. I arranged for a local expert that was recommended to me. He's an expert in street art and Banksy. I want him to come down. I want to take a look at him, verify everything, and then we'll talk numbers.
It's absolutely normal. Please take your time.
Okay, give me just a few moments.
Sure.
900,000 is detonating my brain right now. This is the Banksy.
Wow, amazing. Let me take a closer look. So this is the Monkey Detonator, and easily identifiable as a Banksy just from the overspray. You see how he sprays and there's slight blurred lines?
Yeah, I mean, it screams Banksy.
Absolutely.
So what do you think about it?
It's an important work by him, and it's obviously an early work by him. But Banksy was painting way back in the late 90s on the street quite early in Bristol and organising events. And then he came up to London, and that's really when 2000, 2001, when his notoriety started to rise.
So what do you think of this one?
I mean, Banksy's rats are his signature, but I think this is one of the special ones for me.
Yeah, I do believe it's like quintessential Banksy.
Quintessential is the right word, yeah.
I just want to make sure I'm buying legit stuff and I'm buying it at the right price.
Sure, I understand.
So, are they legit?
I need to check the certificates, and I see we have one certificate here for this print. The one thing is that we're very lucky that Banksy invented this system, so we can check that with Pest Control, so knowing it's a real McCoy.
Okay.
So I can tell from the certificate and by certain security features that this is a legitimate Banksy.
Cool.
And do you have the certificate for the original as well?
Yes. The owner is currently traveling on a business trip, and we can send you the certificate.
Okay. And the process of me checking that would take 24 hours.
So, if I make a deal, you can get them all checked out, and we can just broker the entire thing through your shop.
It would be a pleasure.
All right, the big question. What are they worth?
I would see this piece, the Monkey Detonator, on a good day in auction, achieving 900,000, maybe more.
Pounds?
Pounds.
So 900,000 pounds is a smidgen more than $1 million.
Indeed.
And what does this go for?
Recent auction results, we've seen this print achieve £16,000.
So that's right around 19,000 American, right around
thereabouts,
that?
Yeah, thereabouts.
Okay. All right, I will give you a call if the deal comes together, and we'll get it done. Okay?
Sounds good. Nice to meet you.
All right.
Very nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Okay. 500,000 pounds total. That's $600,000.
I'm afraid that for this price, we are a bit far. especially that the market is pretty high right now.
All right, I'll tell you what, I'll give you 600,000 pounds. That's 720,000 American.
It's a very fair offer, but unfortunately, it's too far still.
Do you think he'll take 650? That's 780,000 American.
You know, I'm gonna try to reach him right now and get back to you.
Okay.
Just please give me a second.
I really want these things. Call me crazy, but I did not fly across the pond for nothing.
I was able to reach the owner. Congratulations, we have a deal at 700,000 pounds.
I offered 650.
My client is a very tough businessman, and believe me, the market will continue to grow. It's a great deal you have on your hands. You won't regret it.
My family will think I'm nuts, but okay, we got a deal. Okay, 700,000 pounds, it's 840,000 American. Get everything over to Oliver. The second he tells me everything is verified, I'll wire the money, he'll get you paid.
Congratulations, they're beautiful pieces. You won't regret it because Banksy is bankable.
And hopefully Corey and Chum don't commit me when I get back to Vegas.
So I'm here in Boston because I found this person who has a 1652 New England shilling, literally the first coin ever minted in the colonies. So if I could pick this thing up, I could make my own serious coinage. You must be Ed.
Rick.
And that is it. Of colonial coins, that's the Holy Grail. These were the first coins struck in the colonies. They were really, really proud of it, even though it's possibly the plainest coin ever made.
I have a 1652 New England silver shilling. I found the coin about 30 years ago in the Boston area, and recently I found out that it was a very valuable and rare coin. I've had it for a period of time, and I just want to be able to share it with somebody else who has the same interest that I do.
It's super, super cool. The 1650s, the colonies still considered themselves British subjects. They just wanted a little bit more autonomy. And this was sort of like saying, you know, we're not completely independent from England, but kind of independent from England. So this was sort of another step towards pissing off the English. All right, yeah, I mean, it's pretty amazing. It hasn't been clipped. You never see old coins complete like this because people would go and they would clip a teeny bit off, and next one file a little bit off, next one file a little bit off, and next thing you know, they have 2 shillings worth of silver. But the problem is that eventually there'd be next to no coin left. That's why Sir Isaac Newton invented the reeded edge on a coin.
It's an awfully good shape.
We got NE there for New England, and we have a 12 on the back of it. What's the 12 for?
I would say 12 pence.
Okay, that's what a shilling is, yeah, all right. I'm just shocked to see it. God, it's in great shape. In the coin collecting world, it's one of the big ones. So, here's the big question. What do you want for this thing?
Well, I've seen it at auction anywhere between $250,000 upwards of $400,000. So I think that's a good starting point.
Yeah, but you didn't give me a starting point.
So how about $300,000?
What about 2 1/4?
I don't know if I'd want to go that low. Can we meet at 250?
It's just in really great shape. And at 250, I still make some money, so we got a deal. All right.
Appreciate you
All right,
coming
cool.
in, Rick. So I was very happy to make the sale today, and with the money, my wife's been pestering me to get out of the cold New England winters, so maybe I'll buy a second home in a warmer climate.
Hey, what do we got here?
A whole lot of silver.
Let me help you out real quick. The old man is crazy about silver. He's gonna be like a kid on Christmas morning when he sees this. I've never seen you get up from your desk that quick.
I always get up, son.
Not generally very quick.
I came to the pawn shop today to sell my silver.
I have over 3,000 ounces. Growing up, my dad always taught me to invest, and so I'm here today to cash in on that investment. If they want less than face value, well, we'll see what we can work out.
Wow, that is a boatload of silver you have right there. Where did you get all this stuff?
So I bought it about 12 years ago, and I held on to it, and here I am today.
So what do you got here?
I got some 90% silver dimes over here, some quarters. I got these bars, and this thing alone is almost 75 pounds.
Oh, that's cool. Most people don't realize until 1964, all U.S. dimes, quarters, half dollars, silver dollars were all made out of silver. And all paper money was a promise to pay you real money.
Right.
I've been collecting silver, son, for the past 30 years. Silver and gold is a hedge against hyperinflation.
People have been mining silver since at least 3000 BC, but silver mining really blew up after the discovery of the New World when they found huge amounts of it in South America. All right, I just gotta make sure, it's all silver coin.
Okay.
It's really important for me to scan all the edges on these to make sure there's no modern coins in here. When you look at an edge of a quarter or a dime today, you see copper and nickel. Pre-64, all silver, no copper. They look right. It's the right color. It's all 1964 or before. Do you mind if I go weigh them just to make sure they weigh the right amount?
No problem.
So you have 3,372 ounces of silver. You bought right at the bottom of the market. In the late 1990s, silver was down to $3 an ounce, but silver is the best conductor of electricity there is, period.
Okay.
Just about every cell phone, every computer, television, they all started needing silver. By, I think it was last year, 500 million ounces of silver was used just in industry. I hear that there's basically a shortage of silver nowadays. I'd love to buy silver all day, every day of the week, because there's a set profit margin. I can sell it on the market immediately. So what do you want to do with it?
I want to sell it.
Ricky, this one's going to be difficult to buy, and you know why.
When you're talking this much money, there's too much temptation to put a bar of steel or something in the center. And when they make them this big, they don't make them in odd weights.
So you're saying this might not be pure silver?
What I'm saying is there might be a chunk inside that's not pure silver.
Can we test this thing?
Yeah, drill a few holes in it, take the shavings out, melt them down, make sure it's all silver. Give me a few minutes. If everything checks out, I'll pay you. If it doesn't check out, I'll give you an address where you can send it. Okay?
Okay. I never even imagined this might not be silver. I'm really nervous right now.
Testing silver is a little work, but it's not rocket science. First off, you have to drill deep enough to make sure there's not a lead core or some other metal in the middle of the bar. Then you melt down all the filings until they liquefy and you create a small button. The last step is dropping some nitric acid on it and seeing what color it turns. When nitric acid reacts with pure silver, it turns a creamy white. If it's any other metal, it can turn green, blue to gray. Okay, here's the deal. Yeah, it's all right, it's fine. Now that I know it's pure silver, I'll be more than happy to buy this humongous bar, but I have to factor in the unusual cost when trying to sell something so heavy and odd-shaped. You got $46,000 for the coins, $33,390 for these bars right here. 32.39 times 942 equals. So we got a total of $110,901.
Well, let's make a deal.
That is the deal.
You can't go like 115?
No. I mean, there's not a lot of profit here. On $110,901, I'm probably gonna make $1,500 off you.
But can't you just hold all this for 6 months, a year, and sell it for 120?
Or hold on to it for 6 months and sell it for 50? I am not a speculator in the silver market. I'm a businessman.
So what's your best price you can give me today?
I'll go 111,000 even. I'll go up $99.
How about 112?
No, there's no money to be made for it.
You know, you're welcome to check around, but most people go $1 back on everything.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I can do. I can do 111,000. Or if you want to, you can tote the stuff around and check some more.
Well, I bought it 12 years ago for way less than that. 111 sounds good to me.
All right, it's a deal, 111.
I'm really glad my dad taught me to invest, because today I'm walking out with over $100,000.
I'm gonna take one of these, Rick.
No, you're not.
Come on.
A few days ago, I got a call from my buddy Larry, who repairs helicopters. He says he's got a guy who wants to sell me one. So he set up a meeting, and I'm on my way to check it out. So this is it, huh?
No, actually, this is it.
Really?
It's all there.
Yeah, I know you said it was in a crash, but you didn't tell me it crashed and burned.
I'm a helicopter pilot myself. I purchased this helicopter from the insurance company with the hope of trying to rebuild it. With the tough times I'm having right now, I'm just trying to get my money back out of it.
Looks like a pile of junk to me.
It was just involved in a hard landing.
And did the pilot walk away? Did the pilot die in this thing? Because it might give me a bad vibe or something.
The pilot and passenger were both fine.
All right. So why in the world did you buy this in the first place?
I love aviation, and I wanted a challenge. I thought it would be fun to be able to buy it and rebuild it myself.
Just didn't work out?
No, I lost my job, so I don't have the finances to rebuild it anymore.
I just don't think I can do anything with this. This is much worse than anything Larry told me about, or I assumed.
Hey, Rick, how you doing?
Hey, Larry, how's it going, man?
Good. Hey, Sean.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm the chairman of the board for LJ Air Corporation. We're one of the largest fleet owners of Schweitzers in the Southwest.
Yeah, when I was called down here, I thought I was going to see a helicopter. This is, I don't know what this is.
Well, it's an opportunity.
So exactly what kind of helicopter is this?
The model number is a Schweitzer 300C. This is a 1992. Now, this aircraft was originally designed for the military about 1967, and they did all of the flight training in the Army with this, but it was actually designed to crash and be able to be fixed in the field there instead of having to take it back to a factory.
So it's like the only helicopter made to be crashed?
It is actually made to be crashed.
So apparently this helicopter is designed to be crashed. Well, I'd really like to talk to the guy who designed this helicopter because it's crashed and it really doesn't look that good. Yeah, I don't know much about helicopters, but for me to stay here another 5 minutes, you're really gonna have to do some talking.
This looks like it's in bad condition, but frankly, this whole front cab, I can typically rebuild within about 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay. So did the motor survive the crash?
Oh, yes, it did. This is good. If you were to buy the engine, it'd be a $30,000 engine, and you have that good to start with. Each of the components into the drivetrain, like these pulleys, these are $20,000 a piece. These are all okay. So a lot of the things that it takes to rebuild the aircraft are okay.
So how much would it be just to rebuild the whole thing?
Oh, a thumb sketch estimate would be $100,000.
Whoa. I mean, I just don't see where there's any money to be made.
The retail value of this is about $150,000.
Okay.
So there's a $50,000 gain right away.
Larry has thrown around some huge numbers, and that's scary. But if that translates into huge profits, I'm definitely interested. What did you want for this thing?
I bought this off the insurance company for $10,000, so that's what I'm looking to get out of it.
Oh, will you take any less than 10?
I mean, I can't really afford to take anything less than 10.
Okay. All right, 10,000, it's a deal, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I feel good about buying this because like Larry said, even if I don't fix it up, I can always sell it for parts and I can make like $5 grand. But if there's more to be made, maybe I'll end up fixing it up. Before you start working on it, let me run this by my pops real quick. I just don't want him weirding out on me or something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would too.
See, I told you it's nice.
Well, if it hadn't been, Rick, I'd have sold one of your kidneys.
Beats the hell out of a hot air balloon, huh?
Ain't that the damn truth?
This thing looks amazing. It's like a real helicopter. A month ago, this thing was a scrap heap. Larry did an amazing job.
Basically, everything on there had to be rebuilt. The frame was okay, and the engine was okay. So basically, all I had to do was rebuild the body. I searched around, and I found a lot of reconditioned parts, so that you didn't have to put all new parts on the aircraft. But everything on here that has to be reliable, those are all new parts. After we got the cab together and we put all the glass and everything in, we knew that it was all going to be a good aircraft. And once we lifted the engine in, basically the aircraft was done. So it just took time and, knowing how to do it.
So the big question is, will we get it right at $100 grand?
Well, because we used reconditioned parts instead of new parts, I saved you a lot of money. So I think I've made the $100,000 mark you were looking for.
Sweet. So how much do you think I can sell it for now?
It'll probably sell for about $160,000 to $175,000.
I'm really happy the way this thing turned out. I'm really, really happy we didn't go over budget, and I'll be really, really, really happy when we sell this thing and make a profit, because we got a lot of money tied up. You're gonna do the maiden voyage in it, Pop, so get up in there.
We all got the most to gain by this thing going down with you in it.
Hey, I've done made my will out and left everything to the damn cat. I like flying, and I especially like flying when it takes me away from Rick and Corey.
Hey, Rick.
Hey.
There's some guy in the back with Eleanor?
What?
I don't know. You want to go meet him?
All right. You finish these up for me?
Yeah, sure.
You gotta be kidding me. Shelby GT350, Gone in 60 Seconds, the movie. It's Eleanor, I get it. How's it going?
Good, how you doing?
This thing is nice. This is the real thing, not a clone, huh?
The real deal, this is it.
67 GT350?
Yep, only 1,175 made total.
Need my tennis racket. It's Wimbledon white, right?
It is Wimbledon white. Carroll Shelby was a great race car driver as well as a great builder of cars, and that's why Ford got involved with him to begin with. Got it here in Las Vegas about 12 years ago. It's a treasure to own. What made this car famous was the movie Gone in 60 Seconds with Nicolas Cage. They nicknamed the car Eleanor. That's why the car is worth more value today.
I mean, it's really an iconic car. This is what a muscle car is supposed to look like. A lot of people like Mustangs, but as far as I'm concerned, they didn't look good until 67, 68. That's when they looked cool.
Yeah. It was originally a Ford, as all Shelbys were.
The thing was, Ford built them, they sent them to the Shelby plant, and they did a little bit of motor work and a little body work. And that made it a GT350.
It's actually the fourth of the last GT350s. In 68, 69, and 70, all those cars were turned over to Ford, and that's when Shelby's hands were taken off the cars. The 67 was one of the last ones that he had his hands on.
The 67 is the best, period.
I appreciate that.
It really is. I mean, this was the way Carroll Shelby envisioned the car, okay? And he worked on it, his guys worked on it. It wasn't guys at a Ford plant slapping it together who didn't give a
Exactly.
This is one of the quintessential cool cars of the 1960s. There was right around 100 modifications that Shelby did to a Ford Mustang to make the GT350. It improved its performance, its handling, and its style. Needless to say, this is about as cool as it gets, and I would love to have it.
This is clean. This is really nice. Ah, it looks all beautifully stock. That's what I like to see.
Yep, original 4-speed top loader. Got 63,000 original miles on the car.
Original gauges. I'm sure the upholstery's been redone.
Just the inserts in the seats actually have been redone.
Well, that's expected to be done. It's just as long as it's done right.
Right.
And this all looks right. And he signed the glove box. Always charged like a couple $100. You just had to give it to his charity, right?
Yep, that's the way it went.
That's definitely a plus, as far as I'm concerned.
To tell you the truth, I'm a little shocked. A car like this rarely drives into my shop. It looks legit, but I'm assuming he wants an arm and a leg for this thing. Because if this was my car, that's what I'd want.
So how much are you gonna get out of it?
Well, my asking on the car is $125,000. I've done my homework on this car. I know the value of it. I feel it's a fair price what I'm asking for the car.
Okay. I'm gonna call up a buddy of mine, have him come down here and help me figure out the price. I mean, it's an expensive car. There's a million little things that raise and lower the prices on these things.
Okay.
Okay, so
right.
let me get him down here. He will know every single thing there is to know about this car.
Terrific. Okay. If I was in this position, I would go ahead and I would call in someone to take a look. But I know the car is what it is, and I think it'll bring the value that I'm looking for.
Now that's a car. Kind of lift up the dress and see what we got going on here. Let's get under this hood here first. Nice. There it is, the Hypo 289, man. It looks like it's a pretty well-kept engine bay. You know, this is definitely a car that's been cherished, I can tell that. What really makes the difference right now is the test drive. That's the only way to validate whether it's a real Shelby.
I think it's the real deal, guys.
Do you mind if we take it for a spin around the block, make sure there's no problems, everything's running right?
Yeah, that's okay. That's fine.
Okay. So I promise I won't break it.
Okay, you promise.
The Hypo 289, let's do this.
Be careful with my baby.
Back in '67, when you were driving this car, you were kind of a baller. I mean, this was paying a lot of money to drive a Mustang.
Yeah.
You could drive a Porsche for the price of this car back then. You know what I mean? Yeah, she's nice, man. She's real tight. The test drive was awesome, man. It's a solid car. It felt good. It's got really good power. You know that car would get the goods when you lay into the throttle.
What do you think it's worth?
Well, it's a solid car, runs and drives good. So I'd say anywhere between 100 to 110,000 bucks. I appreciate you letting us take it for a nice, easy meander down the road.
I appreciate what you said, and we'll talk and we'll see how it
you
goes.
got a great car, man. Great
Okay,
car,
I appreciate
Rick.
it. Thanks so much.
See you soon,
Good luck,
man.
buddy.
So, what do you think?
I think it's a great car, and I rarely do this, but I'm not going to negotiate. I will give you 100 grand. There's no money past 100 grand, none.
Is it feasible that you might be able to do 105?
No. Anything past 100 doesn't make a dime of sense.
All right, so that's the max you're going to go?
Not one dime more.
You got a deal.
Sweet. Let's go do some paperwork, and we can figure out if my dad's going to yell at me for driving for a week.
I figure this was a good point for me to go ahead and let it go. And now he's got the car, I got the money, and I'm out of here.
The Hard Rock Hotel that is right off the Strip recently closed down. The entire property was covered with amazing rock and roll photography. All this stuff was sold off when the place changed hands. I recently got contacted by an individual who says he has all those photographs and is looking to sell them. This sounds almost too good to be true, but you know what? I just have to check it out.
Hey, Rick, how are you doing?
Hey, you must be Richard?
That's me.
And you have the Hard Rock collection.
I sure do. They're all in the back. Come on, follow me. I'll show them.
I mean, and you got all the photos?
I do. It's an amazing find. So here it is.
Whoa, that's absolutely amazing. Okay, yeah, it's definitely cool, man. The Hard Rock Hotel here in Vegas was probably considered like the coolest, hippest hotel maybe in the world. Not only was it memorabilia, I mean, it was stuff like this. This you can hang in anywhere. But the pair of pants of a rock star has its place in society, but not in every home.
Exactly. I'm looking to sell a collection of photos. These photos were all in the Hard Rock Hotel, in the most expensive suites, and also in the lobbies. A buddy of mine works there, and he tipped me off that this collection was going up for sale. I knew I had to buy them. I'm looking for $150,000 for this entire collection of 50 pieces.
I think it's absolutely amazing. Okay, Deborah Harry.
Absolutely, Blondie.
I'm assuming this is Kiss in Japan?
Yes, Kiss in Kyoto by Bob Gruen. And Bob is an amazing photographer. He did the famous photo of John Lennon on the streets of New York with a little hat on.
All right, sweet. Is that Michael Jackson playing basketball as a little kid?
Absolutely. These are unpublished, limited edition prints by Neil Preston. And yeah, the Hard Rock got their hands on it. It's amazing.
I mean, it's just incredible. And what's this over here?
So this is actually collage, also by Neil Preston, about Led Zeppelin. This is him on tour for 7 years with these guys.
Whoa. I mean, he was around at, like, the epic 70s when rock bands cruised around on their own jets. And the stories he must have.
Oh, yeah. But then this rig is really what I wanted to show you. This is the holy grail of the entire collection. So this is in Wembley Stadium in 1986.
It's Freddie Mercury. He was like no other singer the world has ever seen. That is the money shot.
Yeah, exactly.
This is some other stuff of Neil Preston's.
Yep. David Bowie, for instance, 1972. Bruce Springsteen in Japan. And then we have Stevie Nicks in her dressing room.
This is incredible.
Some photographers are famous, and some of them are legends.
So you acquired all this from the Hard Rock?
I did. I have 50 pieces.
And how much do you want?
I want 150,000 for them.
Okay. This is a lot of money. I want to call somebody down to take a look at these and just make sure everything's legit. So give me 5 minutes. I'm going to make a phone call, and we'll go from there.
Absolutely.
All right, and I'll be right back.
No problem.
I so wish I was a rock star instead of a Pawn star. Neil, how's it going?
Hey, good to see you.
Richard, this is Neil Preston, the legend rock and roll photographer of the ages.
If you want to put it that way. I've worked very closely with Led Zeppelin, Queen, Michael Jackson. The list is pretty endless.
A lot of it's your stuff, and just a lot of questions. First off, is it all legit from the Hard Rock?
Well, I'll tell you what, it all looks very familiar, and it all was definitely hanging up at the Hard Rock.
So you took this shot in '86?
Yep, that shot was done at Wembley Stadium in 1986, which was the year after Live Aid.
I mean, right down at the bottom it says 13 of 15. So there was only 15 of these made, and this is number 13.
Correct. We had a platinum edition made of this, what is now a very famous photo of Freddie Mercury. And I personally signed it and wrote his name and where it was shot and everything, and it's the real deal.
I mean, you toured with them guys,
yeah,
right?
Yes, I did. And in fact, I brought you a copy of my new Queen book. And just to show you, there's the famous shot.
That's pretty amazing. The sun in the background, and like, literally, I'm sure if he did that pose more than 3 or 4 times in one concert, he would hurt himself badly.
Well, he was pretty elastic, I must say. Sometimes when the stars align, you nail it.
Michael Jackson?
Yep. I haven't seen those in a while because these were hanging in the Hard Rock in one of the restaurants, and they're the only prints that I ever made from those frames. You can see Michael's about 11 or 12 playing basketball, and these pictures were shot at the famous Jackson family compound in Encino, California.
So those are the only ones in existence?
That is correct. They've never been displayed anywhere else, and they are, in fact, one of a kind.
Okay. And everything's all legit and cool?
Everything is completely legit. We can check all the boxes.
All right.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks, man. And thanks for helping me out here. I really appreciate it.
Anytime, my pleasure. See you later.
See you, man. You know, we're talking a lot of money here. I just want to call Chad, my art guy, get his opinion, and we'll go from there.
No problem.
Okay, I'll be right back. Confirmed artist, the real, 150,000. I have a lot to think about. So, the Hard Rock collection. He wants $150,000 for 50 pieces. This is probably the most incredible stuff right here. What do you think?
$150,000 is a lot of money on one hand. On the other hand, I mean, have you ever seen anything like that of Michael Jackson before? Michael Jackson is incredibly popular here and even more popular in Europe to this day. These by themselves, as one of ones, Neil Preston's, if they're in good condition, these could easily be $40,000.
Okay.
Then, the first thing when I walked in, these caught my eye, and this. So this is a platinum print. It is the rarest print. It's the most complicated to make. Just to make this print, if it was of nothing, would be $1,000. But this is one of the most iconic photographs, if not the most iconic photograph of Queen that I'm aware of. 6,000 to 8,000, not a problem.
So if I buy all of these 50 pieces and I sell them individually, I can probably sell them within a year?
I'd say that's fair.
How much do you think I'll get retail?
This stuff is really great. Neil Preston, Led Zeppelin. Bob Gruen, Kiss, the most iconic Kiss photographer. Johnny Rotten, the Michael Jackson, Deborah Harry. Who doesn't love Deborah Harry? Come on. All of this together, retail, $200,000.
Okay. If I get the stuff, I'll give you a call, and I'll let you know what happened.
Maybe I'll pick up a piece off of you. It's fantastic.
Thanks, man.
Congratulations on the collection. It's really cool.
Thank you so much.
So you've been in the art business for a while?
I have.
Okay. There's not a gallery in the world that would pay $150,000 for $200,000 worth of art that's going to take them a year to sell. So this figure should be right around $90,000.
Let's come up to 130.
Most of the stuff I got to reframe. 95?
How about 100?
Well, I guess I'm going to pay you 100 grand then.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to call my shop. I'm going to get the van down here. I'll get you paid.
Great.
Thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome, Rick.
This is incredible. Now the only hard part is not taking it all home and putting it on my walls.